Okay, I'm going to do a little demo of my binary to ender pearl stasis chamber thing here. So you can see right now it is flipping the trapdoors going from left to right, activating it. So you can imagine if I threw some ender pearls there, it'd be activating those. So it takes 6 binary inputs here at the top. You can see I just have a thing that's switching them. These just change these pistons. So the 3 on the left are for the sort of left-right selection, and the 3 on the right here are for the front-back selection. So if we go over here, you can let me actually connect up this other half here. Like that. So now both halves will be moving. Alright, so you'll notice that as these are flashing on this upper row and on this bottom row, one light doesn't turn on. So that's a selected row. So you can see this one goes from left to right, and this one on the bottom also goes from left to right whenever this goes through one cycle. Yep, like that. So I've taken the idea of like a binary to like breakout thing, so 3 bits to 8 individual lanes. And I've sort of put a twist on it, so instead of like there just being a on or off signal, it's a pulse or no pulse, which is what this ends up being here. So you can see that I have these activator rail lines with a sort of binary decoder thing that goes into 2 lines. So we have the white ones at the top and the gray ones. So those 2 separate ones are being controlled by this one and this one. So this is where it gets interesting, because normally you would have to have like a second set of lines going in this other direction and then have one of these converters here, so it would take up a lot more space. But because these are on top of each other, it's able to stay inside this square area. So this white line here gets turned 90 degrees, so this light here corresponds to this lane here, and this one over here would correspond to this line here that goes across. So then I have a thing set up which is a little bit weird on how it works, but it works, and there's the only way I can figure out how to make it work, where it takes the signals going both directions and breaks them out into a single output. So I'll just show you how that works. Let me turn this off. Okay. So you'll notice if I just turn this on, let me just check where it is. I won't be able to check. Okay, here it is. You can see that this redstone block got stuck in the down position here. And if I do this, it'll be brought back up. So I'm gonna just temporarily disable this, so it's always in the front row. So you can see it went down and then got picked up, and then the next one is put down in a row. So if we break this down even more, what you'll see is that when I first do this, it's sort of the inverse of what I want, because remember, the signal for this is either there's a pulse or there's no pulse, and the one that's selected has no pulse. So that essentially means that every single one of these pistons at the bottom gets pulsed except for the one we selected. So all of those are closing the trapdoor as opposed to this one, which is the opposite of what we want. So I found out that if you get it into this state and then you give every single piston unanimously a 1-tick pulse, it flips the state. So now only the one we want is selected. There's an issue with that, because obviously if this is down here, it's going to activate this. So how can we have this extend and retract and not turn this torch on? So what's interesting about that is if you give this a even redstone tick pulse, it will never do it. So like a 1-tick pulse won't do it. A 2-tick pulse is too slow. So if you give it a 2-tick pulse, it'll actually turn this off. You have to give it a 1.5-tick pulse, which is what this sort of thing here is. It gives it 1 game tick of delay, or 1.5 more precisely. So when that is combined together, you'll see that it goes down and up and doesn't turn this on. But remember, when it's doing that, it's inverting what we want. So the one we actually have selected stays down and stays selected until we turn this back off. So I'll just let it run through all the iterations quickly here so you can just see that all of them work. I think I'll do a world download at some point. I want to refine this a bit more. Oh, by the way, this whole thing should be tileable, which will be pretty pog. So let's run it and just see all the stasis chambers go. So it's currently, we're on this one. Okay. Are we? Let's see. Oh, we're in this one right now. Okay. So it's coming up to the front here. Should. Oh my god, where is it now? Okay, it's in this one? Oh, it's in this one now. I'm having trouble tracking it because I am too sleep deprived. Okay. It's doing it in the wrong order for some reason. Oh, I desynced it. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I think I need to do this. Oh fuck. Alright, whatever. You get what it is. I'll do a better video later on. I'm less sleep deprived.